The focus of our firm is that we think obviously fossil fuels are going to drive the path on the energy frontier moving forward, but there's all these set of ancillary technologies and capabilities that we have to be very mindful of. Because of that, there's also a lot of, I don't want to use the misinformation word, but there's just a lack of understanding of how energy actually works. And so my group works with companies, both asset managers, private companies across the board, on facilitating broader access to quality capital, getting the narrative right with stakeholders they would deem important, policymakers, regulators. We can talk about that. So you have to have that sort of alignment when you're working with people outside of the energy companies on how to understand that.
So one thing you said there that really kind of stood out to me is a lot of people don't understand how energy works.
That's right.
How does energy work? What is y'all's perspective on that? I know
Yeah,
that is a huge question to be able to answer, but I mean, if anybody can, it's you, sir.
yeah. I mean, I think for let's just call it the previous 4 or 5 years, whatever it was, there is this growing sentiment that the world could immediately flip towards renewables. And once again, man, people sometimes get the idea that I am anti-renewables. I'm actually pro what works. And so whatever that is, call it whatever you want. I don't care. Like as long as it works, I could care less. But like I said, there's this growing sentiment, at least with the general consensus, that you could just turn on the switch and we'd go from a fossil fuel based infrastructure to a renewable infrastructure overnight. And that's just not the case, right? We tend to get held up on just the first tenet of power generation, right? Whether it's coal, natural gas, nuclear, hydro, what have you. What people don't necessarily realize is there's three tenets of power. There's the generation, but there's also the transmission and the distribution. And the transmission and the distribution part is actually the more critical stuff because that's how you get stuff from point A to point B. That's how you optimize the balance between what the energy mix is to ensure that you have reliability and affordability. And when you have these discussions with people who are usually outside of the realm of the energy space, like they think you're doing some like magic trick on them, that there's some black magic that you lay upon them that, it's all news to them.